Hey guys, it's Jordan and welcome back to my channel. So today I have an extra special story time for you. We're gonna go down memory lane and remember my fondest, most annoying, crazy jobs I've ever had. And to this day, I would not recommend this type of position. I know if you have to do what you have to do to get your money and pay your bills, and I respect that. But if you're lucky enough to be able to choose the type of position you want, I would definitely not recommend fast food, and you're about to know why. So let's just begin right here now. So it's my first winter break back from school. I've already had one semester of college, and I've already started to feel what it's like to be a broke college student. Yes, my room and board was paid for. My parents did send me money here and there, but it was not the same as just coming back from summer break, and I was able to work all the time. So to go from that income to just here and there and stuff, it got to be a little crazy. And yes, I know you're at college and people sometimes think, well, as long as your room and board's paid for and your meals, like what else do you need money for? But trust me, especially if you haven't been in college yet, trust me, there will come many different things, many different little expenses here and there that you're not gonna think about, and you'll need extra money besides just for food. And you'll get tired. Thank you. Anyway, so yeah, there's just a lot of little extra expenses that you don't even think about, and you do get tired of the same dorm food and things like that. It's just not always your go-to, especially after a couple weeks of having it. So I knew that I did not want to be in the same position I was last semester, and I needed some money. So I just thought to myself, let me work as much as I can during winter break, cash that in, and then I'll have some money to take back with me for school. So that was my game plan. So I was ready to go. I already had my previous summer job that I was going to go back to, but I was thinking, hey, got this whole month and a half off, nothing to do really. Why not get 2 jobs? Even more money. So that's what I was about to do. I had my mom try to help me look for jobs, and that, my friends, is how we get into this story, because she found out that one of your favorite chicken spots, especially now with the chicken sandwich, drum roll please, Popeyes was hiring. Yes, they were. And so she made sure I filled out an application. Same day she told me about it, and took it to Popeyes. And guess what? They gave me an interview on the spot, and I got the job basically. So I was excited, I was happy. This was only maybe, I think the same week I just came home from school. So now I already have 2 jobs for winter break. I was like, whew, I'm good, I got it. So maybe a couple days later, I go in for my first day, and it's honestly easy. They give me the rundown of how things go, filled out some paperwork. I don't even think I was there for a full 8 hours, and it was really easy. It was basically a big learning day, my first day, so that was fine. Now, the next couple days, however, things did start to change. So this is the disclaimer, and now the Popeyes that I worked at, and I'll give you Pittsburgher as a hint, this is the one that always seems to be shutting down, reopening a few months later, shutting down, that one. So if you know which one I'm talking about, you know which one I worked at. So that Popeyes was interesting, and I'm not gonna say just because I'm talking about this one that all the Popeyes around the country are like this. This is the events that happened at my specific location. So I'm not saying this is how all of them are going to be. You're going to go to Popeyes and experience or see the same things. But this is what happened at my location. Let's say this was the same week I had just started, and it was supposed to be pay week. So I know, I only worked maybe 2 days. I'm not getting a paycheck, whatever the case may be. So we get in there in the morning. No paycheck. Now I'm thinking, stuff happens, especially there by mail. Maybe they're just not here yet, something happened with the post mail, I don't know. I didn't really think too much of it. Some things happened. I didn't really care, honestly. I wasn't getting paid, so it didn't really matter to me. So it's a couple days later. Now this is going into the next week, and paychecks finally come. Except a whole bunch of people were wrong. I think a couple people didn't even get their paychecks, and so it was chaos. The employees were all upset because apparently this wasn't the first time that people's paychecks weren't here or they weren't right, so they were going off. My manager, she didn't really have anything to tell them, was basically telling them, well, we'll get it fixed, we'll get it fixed. She's trying to look at stuff, but they were not having it. And we had 2 people just walk out. Now, one of them, they didn't get their paycheck at all. The other person's, it was wrong, but by a real significant amount, and they were just fed up. So that was like, wow, we just got there in the morning and already we have 2 people leave. This third person is arguing with her, so I'm thinking she's about to leave next, because I understand, you want your money, you put in the hours and the time, you expect your work to be rewarded. You're supposed to be getting your paycheck for the hours you put in, not for what they think you put in or the clock and stuff, especially if you're using the time clock right, which I don't see why they wouldn't have been. You expect this amount for putting this much hours in. Simple. So when you're not getting that, yes, it's gonna make people mad and get some issues going on, but I honestly don't know why she quit, especially if she hasn't gotten her paycheck yet and stuff like that. Me personally, I think I would try to work that out first and make sure my paycheck was in my hand and then quit. If I felt like if this was whole, BS and stuff, they're just gonna do it again. But at least we'll make sure that I got my last paycheck, because now I felt like it was gonna be harder for her to get that, but that's a whole other story, girl. You do you. Hopefully she got her paycheck, ended up getting it one way or the other. I don't know. But that was just weird to me. And so I don't like, my money being messed with, so it kind of did make me feel a little skeptic when I was seeing what was going on, and that was maybe my first couple of days. Now, the next couple of days went by, and things honestly just got worse. I was seeing the most disgusting practices. Those cute little adorable Popeyes boxes that we get our food in. Yeah, at the location that I was in, don't use that, because my manager would literally have us pick these boxes up off the floor if they fell. As long as they didn't have any debris on them or dents, bruises, anything like that, she still wanted us to use them. And this is not, oh, I just dropped this right now, hurry up and let me go pick it up. We want to know how long. We would literally not even know how long these boxes would be on there, but as long as there's nothing visible on them, she would still want us to use them. These boxes have been on the dirty, disgusting floor in this kitchen. God knows what has dropped on the floor, and she wanted us to pick those up, expected us to, would actually get mad when she would see Popeyes boxes in the trash with nothing on them. She wanted us to still use them. I thought that was disgusting. Me personally, anytime I saw one on the floor, I threw that away. I did not care. She got mad at me a few times. That's just disgusting. I would never want to use a box that had already been on the disgusting floor and put food on it to give to myself or anyone. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm sorry. That's where I just have to do a personal, moral thing, and I think that's just not right. So we used to get in trouble for that, me too, especially throwing away things because they didn't have any marks on them. So that was disgusting. So it didn't surprise me when this situation happened. Maybe a few days later it was, get there in the morning. No one's there, of course, because my manager and 2 other people that own this Popeyes, they lived in Ohio. So they bought a Popeyes in Pittsburgh to actually physically work in. But they lived in Ohio and traveled there every day. Okay, so they were not there on time to get the store open. Waiting and waiting. Finally, maybe about 15 minutes before we're supposed to open, they get there. And guess who else pulls up right now? The wonderful, handy, dandy food inspector! Or health, whatever the case may be. Anyway, she was there to get on our ass. So, an actual customer must have complained and called them about our restaurant. So she came right early in the morning to see how we get things done. And of course, we were rushing because it was 15 minutes before we were open, before we were supposed to have everything ready to be served to people with nothing done. So we were rushing and going back and forth, hurrying up while she was there with her notebook and pencil watching us. An embarrassing morning for the company because we just looked a wreck. Then people were dropped. Someone actually was trying to run too quick, one of our fryers, and dropped a whole thing of chicken in the morning right next to the health inspector. It was a mess. It was a mess. So the health inspector watched us get our morning started. She went to my manager and was talking to her, probably giving her her opinions, statements, all like that. So that happened. So to me, it's just like, this isn't looking good. We're having these nasty practices being done. People are complaining. I'm like, something's not right. This is not okay. And this is still maybe my second week. I've already seen people quit on the spot, nasty health practices, surprise health inspector coming, and it's like, what's next? This is not okay. Now, one good thing, it depends on how you feel, if you want to think it's good or not. One thing I will tell you is Popeyes will give you those hours. I remember specifically talking to the manager about my availability, and I should have never told her that I had a car, because once she found that out, she used that to her advantage. Maybe my first week I had morning and midtime shifts, but then she started putting me on the night shift. I'm like, okay, that's fine. And the night shift's supposed to be 2 to 11. Okay, so that gives me, some good hours. Okay, cool. No. It was not 2 to 11. Started at 2, but we actually didn't close the store, as in the lobby area, of the restaurant, until 10, and the drive-thru till 10:30. But we had to clean that whole entire restaurant after we closed. So sometimes I wouldn't get out there until maybe close to 2 o'clock in the morning. 2 o'clock in the morning. And we really didn't even need to be like that. She made us wait until the very last moment to try to clean up things, hoping that people would come. Nobody wants no old chicken. The last time you dropped it was around 9:30. We would keep it open until the very last moment and be cleaning that restaurant all night. That yummy chicken cook and fry degree and nasty. So much fun. So I would love that. So she would give me those little night shifts, and then she would give me 9 a.m. the next day. She started till my 3rd week. Because that makes sense. That just makes me love that place even more. Not to mention, I didn't even really talk about, the rude customers you get, but I feel like every fast food place has that. People that are impatient, don't want to wait, act like they're the only ones in the building that you have to take care of, stuff like that. That was already, I knew I was going to have to expect that regardless, but that just added all in there. It was great. But these customers, though, didn't always have no reason to complain. The employees were idiots. Let's just say that. And I call them idiots because, does this make sense to you? A customer accidentally left their card at Popeyes. One of the employees, I don't use names, and honestly I don't even remember the girl's name anyway, but she decided, I'm gonna take this card with me home. She bought all these online video games and apps and stuff for her phone, brings the card back trying to be sly because she knew that this customer would probably call in the morning looking for it, which they did. They came back into the store, get the card. I guess she thought it was all good, but did she not think that they were going to check their receipts? Did she not think that they were going to notice that all these different charges have been put on their card? So what does the customer do? Of course they call the police. The police, Channel 4, Channel 11, everybody was at Popeyes maybe the day after she got her card back because of this craziness. Now, thankfully, I was not there. Otherwise, I probably would have been all up in the camera talking like, this does not reflect Popeyes and I'm so surprised and I would never even think that someone would do that. And I would give a whole spiel. Blah, blah, blah. But I was not there that day so I could experience it. But I saw it live, of course, on Channel 4. So that's why I know it happened. So I don't know what was going on to that employee's mind, but that was just so stupid because especially you brought it back too, trying to be sly. Of course you're gonna look at their card, make sure there's been no charges or anything like that on it. So I don't know what ended up really happening to that employee. I know she got fired. I don't know if that woman pressed any charges on her or what the case may be, but those were the type of people I was working with at Popeyes that felt like that. So that was fun. So after this 3rd week, and this has happened after this 3rd week, I'm just really over it. I'm tired of these late nights, these rude customers, the nastiness that is working with fast food, and I honestly just can't wait for this month and a half to be over. My other job was retail. I liked it. I wore cute outfits. I was able to help people with their style, and just it was so different. And I knew fast food was gonna be hard, but this addedness was just too much for me. So finally it gets time for my paycheck, and it had the nerve to be wrong. And of course, I'm paying attention to clocking in and out after I saw what happened with the other employees, and it was an easy system. You clocked in and out on one of our computers, and they gave you a little printed receipt with your time. So I thought as long as I stayed on that, make sure I was clocking in and out when I was supposed to, keeping my receipts, I should be fine. And when I did that, so it was very surprising to me when I saw that my paycheck was wrong, and I was pissed because I put in a lot of work. So as soon as I started, she gave me hours because she knew I had a car. I didn't have to work around a bus schedule or anything like that. So she gave me the hours. So I had been there for a long time, working hard. So I wanted my paycheck to be right. So I go to her and she gives me some little handy dandy excuse. Oh, did you keep your receipts? We'll try to work this out, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, look, I don't need no, we'll try. I need yes and no. Either it's gonna be a new paycheck given to me, or it's gonna be added on to my next one. That's all I need to figure out, which one was gonna be. Not no, we'll try, or we'll see, or ask me questions, did I do this? Yes, I clocked in every single day when I was supposed to. I expect my paycheck to be right. So, I was not, and that's when it came to me that I may have to leave. Am I really happy? Is this gonna do anything else for me? No. No, not really. Especially with the fact that I knew I only had maybe 2 more weeks left at home. And it was already a struggle to get this paycheck. So who would even know if I would even be able to get the second paycheck before I go back to school? And if that would even be right, the whole schmeal with that. I was just like, let me enjoy these last 2 weeks I had at home. I don't care anymore about this job. I tried it, I really did. I worked hard, but it was rough. And I just don't think that was the place for me anymore. It really wasn't. It was just too much drama, too much just, it wasn't running as smooth as I was. There was weirdness with the paychecks, rumors about people taking money out of the drawer. I got accused of taking money out of the drawer, but my thing is, anyone could use the register at the time. We weren't just assigned onto it. All you had to do was put your numbers in and you could use it. So don't come to me asking if I had taken money out of the drawer that day when anyone can go on the register. And you already had people taking other people's cards and stuff that had nothing to do with me. So don't ask me if I took anything out of the register. I know that's your protocol, but it's like the way she came to me about it, like she already knew the answer, was weird. I didn't like that. So that was that day too, that morning when I was on register, and I was just like, say one more thing. Just say one more thing. Give me a reason. Because I'll be gone. And I think that was that day where I told myself, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't care about these last 2 weeks. I will make do with the money I have. Get my money right first. I first have to get the paycheck from them. And that'll be cool. It's not even worth it. So that's what I decided to do. I made myself a nice little printed out typed letter, left it on her table the next day, and I walked out. Now, I did have a shift to do later that night. I did not complete that shift. No, I did not. I don't feel bad about that. I came back a few days though for my last paycheck. Wasn't there. What did I tell you, ladies and gentlemen? Was not there. So that was a problem with me. I called Human Resources. I got in touch with whoever I needed to, the health association, everything, and I was ready to lay Popeyes out. because you're not about to keep staying in business, ripping people off, not giving people the right amount on their paychecks, or their paychecks is all. It's not gonna happen. So I called them, let them know exactly what had been going on in that restaurant, telling them about the other people's paychecks that weren't right and never there on time, and told them that I don't know what else I can do to make sure that my money is there. They assured me that they would give me a call back and they would be doing some research into this Popeyes, and that was that. So maybe I came back in there 2-3 days later. Look, he has a paycheck there waiting for her. And the right amount. Now how did that get there? But it couldn't have been there on the right day 2 days ago. But it's like after I make a call, now you guys want to act right. So it's sad that I really had to go to that extent just to be able to get my money that I worked for. But sometimes, you just have to do what you gotta do. If they weren't trying to give me what I deserved, I was gonna have to do what I had to do and go to their level and get them to listen to me. So I hope you guys like this story time, something different, give you a little inside peek. I mean, you probably already realized that fast food restaurants, you probably already had your speculations. I just help you bring them more to light. So make sure you stay subscribed, you're watching my videos, make sure you actually get the notifications so you know every time I'm posting. Thank you guys so much for watching, and like always, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.